Hey there, fellow space enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial topics in history. Did the Apollo moon landings actually happen? The Apollo moon landing stands as a monumental achievement in human history. It showcased our limitless potential and technological prowess, inspiring generations to reach for the stars. But amidst the awe and wonder, doubts have emerged questioning the authenticity of this historic feat. On July 20, 1969, NASA's Apollo 11 mission successfully landed the first humans on the moon. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin became the first and second humans to walk on the lunar surface, respectively, while Michael Collins orbited above in the command module. Armstrong's famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," resonated across the globe, marking the pinnacle of space exploration. Let's discuss theories that suggest the moon landing was real and explore the compelling evidence that supports this monumental event. The Apollo missions produced an extensive collection of photographs and video footage showing the astronauts on the lunar surface, the Earth from the moon, and various experiments conducted there. These images have been scrutinized by experts and enthusiasts alike, who affirm their authenticity based on lighting, shadows, and physical evidence. Over 800 pounds of lunar rock and soil samples were brought back to Earth, which have been studied by scientists worldwide. These samples are unlike any terrestrial materials, exhibiting unique properties that confirm their extraterrestrial origin. The missions were tracked by various observatories and communication stations around the world. These tracking stations, spread across multiple continents, maintain continuous communication with the Apollo spacecraft, monitoring their trajectories, positions, and status. This global network of tracking was essential for the mission's success, ensuring that every stage of the journey from launch to lunar landing to splashdown was meticulously observed and documented. One of the most compelling endorsements of the mission's authenticity came from the Soviet Union. As NASA's primary competitor in the space race, the Soviet Union had both the capability and the motivation to closely monitor the Apollo missions. Utilizing their own sophisticated tracking systems, the Soviets independently verified the progress of the Apollo spacecraft. Notably, they never contested the authenticity of the moon landings, despite the significant political leverage that could have been gained from discrediting such a high-profile achievement. This tacit acknowledgement from a rival superpower adds considerable weight to the evidence supporting the reality of the moon landings. Furthermore, Apollo missions 11, 14, and 15 placed retroreflectors on the moon's surface. These devices are designed to reflect laser beams sent from Earth, allowing scientists to perform lunar laser ranging experiments. These experiments provide precise measurements of the distance between the Earth and the moon by timing how long it takes for the laser beams to travel to the moon and back. Remarkably, these retroreflectors are still functional and in use today, decades after being placed on the lunar surface. The data collected from these experiments has been invaluable for understanding the moon's orbit and has provided concrete, ongoing evidence of the Apollo mission's presence on the lunar surface. Now let's turn our attention to the theories that suggest the moon landing was fake. Despite the overwhelming evidence supporting the authenticity of the Apollo missions, various conspiracy theories have emerged over the years, proposing that the moon landing was an elaborate hoax. These theories have gained traction through media, books, and the internet, fueling skepticism and debate. Let's explore some of the most prominent claims and the counterarguments that debunk them. Skeptics often point to the American flag appearing to wave in the lunar breeze. However, this observation can be explained by the fact that the flag was equipped with a horizontal rod to keep it extended, as there is no wind on the moon to hold it out. The apparent movement of the flag occurred when the astronauts were adjusting the flagpole, causing it to ripple. Due to the lack of atmospheric resistance on the moon, the flag continued to move briefly after being disturbed, giving the illusion of it waving in the wind. Conspiracy theorists also argue that stars are not visible in the moon landing photos, suggesting these images were faked. This can be explained by understanding the camera settings used during the lunar missions. The cameras were set with short exposure times to capture the brightly lit lunar surface and the astronauts in sharp detail. The surface of the moon, bathed in direct sunlight, is extremely bright. necessitating a fast shutter speed and narrow aperture to avoid overexposure. As a result, the faint light from stars did not appear in the photographs. Capturing stars would have required much longer exposure times, which would have overexposed the lunar surface and obscured important details. Claims about unusual shadows are often cited as evidence of studio lighting. Conspiracy theorists argue that the shadows should be parallel if the sun is the only light source, suggesting that multiple light sources were used. In reality, the moon's surface is uneven, creating varied shadow angles that can seem inconsistent at first glance. The sunlight reflecting off the lunar surface and the astronauts' suits can also affect the direction and appearance of shadows. This phenomenon, known as secondary illumination, causes shadows to fall at different angles and creates the appearance of multiple light sources, even though there was only one, the sun. Some believe the Van Allen radiation belts around Earth would have been lethal to the astronauts, posing another supposed barrier to the moon landing. However, the Apollo spacecraft were carefully designed to address this challenge. The spacecraft traveled through the radiation belts quickly, minimizing the time astronauts were exposed to higher radiation levels. The trajectory of the mission was planned to pass through the thinner regions of the belts, further reducing exposure. Additionally, the spacecraft's aluminum hull provided effective shielding against radiation. The astronauts' total radiation dose was monitored and found to be within safe limits. These precautions ensured the astronauts' safety, making the journey through the Van Allen belts a manageable risk rather than an insurmountable obstacle. The Apollo moon landing represents a monumental leap in human achievement, a testament to scientific innovation, meticulous planning, and human courage. On July 20, 1969, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the lunar surface, they not only fulfilled the ambitious goals set by President John F. Kennedy, but also united humanity in a moment of unparalleled wonder and pride. This event demonstrated the extraordinary capabilities of human ingenuity and the spirit of exploration, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. While conspiracy theories continue to circulate, questioning the authenticity of this historic event, the overwhelming evidence from multiple independent sources supports the truth of the moon landings. This evidence includes detailed photographic and video documentation, lunar rock samples analyzed by scientists worldwide, and tracking data from global observatories. Additionally, the presence of retroreflectors on the moon, which continue to be used for lunar laser ranging experiments, provides ongoing verification of the missions. As we celebrate the achievements of the past, let us also look forward to the future, where humanity will continue to reach for the stars and expand the horizons of our understanding. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of history's most incredible milestones. Keep dreaming, exploring, and watching the skies, for the adventure of space exploration is far from over.